want? Shut your mouth! These people are trying to eat their lunch!
Amanda's car. I bet Amanda takes real good care of her car because she takes such good care of herself. If you have missed the previous Amanda videos, that playlist in the description, please consume. Thank you so much. This is a somewhat interstitial story since it didn't happen all at once. Interstitial? At some point after her summer job and after working on campus for a bit, Amanda got a vehicle. It was an old broke down hatchback, completely normal for a 19 or 20-year-old. I said something complimentary about it when I saw it, but Amanda pushed it off. That was the car she was driving, but it was not her car. Okay, so she's not proud of it, but this was even weirder and deeper. Over the next few years, every time I heard her, she would repeat this, but the story only grew. Her car, her real actual car, was in the shop, or she didn't want to drive it in the snow, or it was getting detailed. Therefore, she was stuck with this subpar car until she got her real car back. Bro, you're 20 years old, please stop. Have you not learned you don't need to lie to kick it? I mean, maybe Amanda does, but you're really not even that good at lying. Just pack it in. Asking her for descriptions of this real car made Amanda act pretty cagey. When I met some of her friends at her parents' anniversary, they totally bought this story, and they talked about what a bummer it was that they didn't get to see Amanda's other really awesome car. Instead, they were in this older, worse car. Just a tidbit of weirdness from the world of Amanda. I'm pretty sure her friends were just being nice, right? Nobody's actually buying this. Those friends are just going through the phase that OP went through at one point of like, oh, if we're nice enough, we can make her change. But Amanda ain't never gonna change, bro. The only way to fix her is to call her out. But even then, she don't listen. So yeah, lost cause. I hope you get your really awesome, totally cool, made up car back as soon as possible. Amanda moves on. Oh, thank God, finally. This isn't the most exciting update to the saga of Amanda, but it encompasses a year that basically shows the full downfall into all-out legbearddom. Yes, this is good for science. Totally science, just the fact, promise Swizzies. Go ahead and look it up. For those of you wanting to know the breaking point of my friendship with her, well, it was somewhere in here. Really, I'm mostly telling it for context during the last 3 stories. Which, it's actually 4, because one of them's a 2-parter, but that's fine. The fall of 2003 passed with minimal contact with her online. A random message of, how are you? A question about when our midterms were compared to hers. The only real event of that fall was that Amanda went blonde. And she went blonde with a vengeance. There were no pictures, but her AIM icon became a blondes have more fun thing, and it seemed every comment from her mentioned that she was a blonde. Just in case you didn't know. It's totally a Chris Trucker type of thing, where just they do this one tiny change that suddenly becomes their entire personality, because they have no actual personality of their own. God, it's so interesting to unpack. I just love this type of crap. To this day, her public Facebook is just all posts about being blonde. She took this hair change really seriously. She still sent me art, much of which featured her personal character with golden blonde hair, but complained that I was such a prude that she could only send me the G-rated stuff. Thank God for that. I was grateful of this fact. Her art wasn't improving, but it had more and more stuff to it. Like you could tell, she was spending a ton of time adding tiny little details to everything, but it was still the same wonky proportions and low detail overall. She would brag that she had bought new expensive markers, and the drawings would be on lined school paper. Oh, so she's not just the blonde, she's an artiste. I'm kind of curious what sort of small details Amanda would add, but I'm also just terrified to ask the question. Probably the answer is going to be veins. Big veiny veins. Every New Year's Eve, Amanda's family had a party that my family went to. I had plans elsewhere, but I decided to drop by earlier in the evening to say hello to her parents. Amanda was there. Blonde was one word to describe her new hair color. Crayola yellow would have been a better descriptor. This hair color had never been seen before in nature. She had also cut her hair into one of those Kate plus 8 may I speak to your manager Karen haircuts that are super long in the front and really short in the back. God, this whole thing is just super unfortunate. Maybe she just cuts her hair like that because those are the people that she really admire. She's like, oh, those Karens demand respect. Well, that's true, Amanda, but they don't get respected on merit. I don't think she'll ever know the difference. Could have also just been a home dye job that went wrong and she tried to salvage it. Doesn't really matter. She looks weirder than usual. Moving on. She seized on to me as soon as I walked in and wanted to know where I was going and tried to get me to let her tag along. I shamelessly used the bathroom and snuck out the back door and left before Amanda noticed. I mean, scrape them off. I've been telling you to do it, OP, and now you did it. I can't feel bad. That spring, 2 things happened. The first was that Amanda rekindled her crush on my brother. It is its own story, as this came to a head after his wedding. The second was that Amanda dropped a bomb on me. I checked in with her on AIM, and she excused herself, saying she was gonna hang out with her friends. If she had said that she was flying out the window with Peter Pan, I wouldn't have been more shocked. After that, she seemed to not respond immediately to me and would mention something about this friend or that. Dude, you faking a party while you're on AIM? I hate this. I hate it. This is making me so viscerally uncomfortable. I probably did something similar. That's why my brain hates it so much. But I guess OP bought in. OP says, I started feeling that she was starting to get more social. And, relieved, I decreased my contact with her. I saw her mother that spring, who told me that Amanda was struggling with her grades, but had decided to take a summer semester working to improve her GPA. See, this is like the crossroads, you know? Maybe Amanda could have gone a different path right here, but she has consistently chosen the path of the Legbeard, so I'm not going to be surprised when that happens again. The next time I saw Amanda was that summer. Her parents had a 4th of July picnic, and my family came. Amanda was in the corner at her parents' summer house, slumped over a chair, scowling at everyone as they came in. She wore a pair of Victoria's Secret pink shorts, a few sizes too small, which she somehow squeezed herself into. This was paired with a huge sweatshirt and a pair of platform rhinestone flip-flops, which she first bragged about, and then used as an excuse to not get up or do anything as the rest of us played volleyball and had fun. And then she uses that to continue the pity party. How could you guys have fun without me? I wanted you to just sit down with me because I told you my shoes is too big. Take your shoes off, stupid! When the food was served, I sat near her. I was thinking that she might be a bit more open now that she had had some more social interactions, but she seemed surly and angrier than ever, just snapping at everyone for things like not having her favorite soda chilled, and because she had to eat with a plastic fork. But it was her family, so everyone just sort of ignored it. Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. Keep your head down as far as I'm concerned. But I will say this, that Karen haircut has never been more fitting than in this moment. So I coaxed Amanda into talking about her friends, which made her family pay attention. It was weird, because she would say something seemingly banal about hanging out with someone, and they would all react really enthusiastically supportive, like, woo, yeah, you go, girl, you hangy-outy girl, hanging out with your friends, just hanging out. Oh, she's 20, please stop it. Afterwards, she started messaging me online more, and at some point sent me an invite to come play a game with her. It was Second Life. Oh, that's a bucket of cringe all on its own, isn't it? Pretty soon I learned all the facts. All of her friends, all the hanging out and social time was on Second Life. There were no real friends, only online friends. Although I will say that I prefer online friends to real friends. There's really no social contract. I could get up and walk away at any point. Respond at my leisure. So yeah, I'm not gonna agree with OP on that one. I like my online friends. Online friends is real friends. We're all friends here, right? Comment section? Tell me that we're friends. Tell me that we're friends! As fall semester rolled around again, she told me that she had stopped going to the therapist, which she never really went to with any sort of purpose anyways. She was sending me invites to another site that she sang the praises of. I don't remember the name, but it had these cartoon icons that you could customize. Oh, Neopets, bro, hell yeah! Somehow between Second Life and that other site, Amanda was earning a small income. Some of the artwork she was sending me was creeping from PG-13 to R-rated. Supposedly some of this art she was selling, and I only got free sneak peeks because we were old friends. And if you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn that I like to sell ya. If she is selling that art, she's selling it real cheap, I'll tell you that. She's probably selling Neo points. That's what I used to do to get a few bucks back in the day. I think it was 1,000,000 Neo points for like $15 to $18, depending on how many. It was like printing free money from the internet before I learned how to print, you know, big money from the internet via YouTube. Anyways, then Amanda disappeared. Oh, okay. After a bit, I was concerned, and I called her mother. That was how I learned that Amanda had dropped out of school and run off to live with a boyfriend that she had met online. Bro, I don't know. I want to be scared or sad or something, but that boyfriend will get his punishment. He's got to hang out with Amanda. Okay, you wanted to steal her from her family? Here she is! Now provide everything for this 20-year-old woman who refuses to work at all. Be careful what you wish for, that's all I'm saying. For the next 4 years, I had no contact with Amanda. Occasionally, I would speak to her mom, and she'd mention that Amanda had emailed and was doing well, but I don't think her family ever even saw her. If I thought of her at all, it was to prep the speech that I'd give on Forensic Files when she inevitably turned up dead, murdered long ago by that supposed online boyfriend. Wow, that's dark. The next time I saw her, or anyone else for that matter, was at her parents' 25th anniversary party. Hey, at least she showed up to that. She is still alive. It's confirmed. And it turns out that the Amanda at the party is actually just the boyfriend in a wig. You're going all Norman Bates in here. I don't know, man. I'd like to be worried for Amanda or something like that, but you're 20. At that point, yeah, you can make your own decisions, and obviously the parents did let her do exactly that. I think she's probably gonna learn some hard lessons from this, but that's just how it be sometimes too. I am glad that OP was finally able to, like, really peel Amanda off. She got a new friend group. OP sneaks out the back door of the bathroom. Okay, she gets the message. I'm only hanging out with this new friend group now. And that's probably for the best. Unfortunately, yeah, OP does get another run-in with Amanda at the anniversary party. But that's just the downside of familial ties, isn't it? And I mean, like, ties between family, not between Amanda and her. Whatever. Okay. We're gonna read that and see how it goes, and I hope you'll enjoy. Amanda and the Anniversary, Part 1. I don't know if we're gonna do both parts. We might as well do both parts, right? Author's notes, I tried to shorten this up, but it is going to be a two-parter. The weird thing is I ended up hanging out with my brother the other night, and this came up in conversation, so the whole thing is fairly fresh within my brain. God, I'm so excited. This is it. The final dumpster fire. We're coming to an end of the sagas of the Legbeard that I grew up with, Amanda. After having disappeared, moving off with an online boyfriend, I might have thought that she was out of my life for good. I was wrong about that, however. Amanda's sister and brother, let's call them Betty and Chad for the sake of the story, along with her grandparents, decided to host a party for her parents' 25th anniversary. It was going to be at the local park, which has an enclosed pavilion. There would be a barbecue along with a potluck. Hey, sounds pretty classy. It does my heart super well to see like how well adjusted the parents and the brothers and sisters are, and then Amanda is just like this anomaly. I'm still unsure how this even happened. My parents were still very good friends with her parents. If anything, more so, since my mom had a cancer relapse since my last story, and Amanda's mom was really there for her. My brother was a very close friend of Chad's, and I was still on really good terms with the rest of the family, to the point of sometimes referring to her mother as my aunt. This party was going to be a surprise, and my family was involved in the planning to some degree. Do surprise parties really happen in real life? Or just like, nobody loves me enough to throw me a surprise party? Oh man, we're getting to some deep-seated issues of ReddX too, ain't we? Amanda, for years, had only been available to contact through email. Her siblings were really concerned about whether or not she would even show up for the party. While her parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles would no doubt love to see her, Betty and Chad were long since over Amanda's behavior and sort of thought that she would ruin the anniversary. I mean, they lived with her. They know. They called that out. The day of the party, I helped with the setup. We told guests to be there a half hour beforehand, or if you were late, to come in through the back door. My mom was in charge of actually getting Amanda's parents to the party. We had just heard word that they were on their way, about to arrive at any time. Everyone settled down, lights off, and then the door opened. Surprise! Only it wasn't the happy couple. 6 people stood, silhouetted in the doorway, headed by a large figure in a dress and flip-flops. Amanda had returned. Just completely unannounced? I mean, you disappear for 4 years and just come walking back in the door? Okay, hide behind the couch though. We don't want to waste the good surprise on you, dum-dum. They moseyed inside, Amanda smirking at people around the room. No one quite knew how to react, but there was barely a few minutes passed before the door opened again. A few people called out a half-hearted surprise. It turned out later that the couple had seen Amanda come in, basically ruining the entire surprise.
We wasted the good surprise on you.
Amanda had indeed changed yet again. She had gained weight, her hair was longer now, still bleached and dyed to a sickening color of yellow, and pulled into an unwashed side ponytail. Oh, side ponytails, remember when that was a thing? Around like Napoleon Dynamite days? Can't remember what year, doesn't matter. She wore a retro style dress that fit her poorly, squeezing her middle, while the bust drooped with obviously no bra. Oh, look at that. It's like a fried egg hanging off a nail. It was made from a cheap-looking, shiny style, and considering the rest of her appearance was unkempt and greasy, it just looked awful. I don't know what else you expected from Amanda at this point. Like she would have a glow-up in those 4 years that she disappeared and had no parental supervision. I'm surprised her teeth ain't fallen out of her head. People came over to greet her. This was, after all, her family, who hadn't seen her in years. She completely managed to take the attention away from her parents' arrival for like a good 15 minutes. I basically ignored her and hugged Amanda's mom and started helping my brother and Betty with finishing up the buffet. Is it Amanda's fault that she stole the thunder? Or is it the fault of all these family members that decided to put the reappearance of this wayward daughter above the 25th anniversary of the people who produced her? As fortunate or unfortunate as that might be. I got the feeling that Amanda was really sour towards everyone greeting her because it took no time at all for everyone to turn all the attention back to her parents, ignoring Amanda and her group of people. They planted themselves in a back corner near the presence, away from everyone else. Okay, so you made appearances. You're done here, right? Now head on home, back to wherever the hell you came from. And I mean, in truth, you can't really even blame the family for greeting Amanda, because she would have made a big scene if nobody made a big enough deal about it. You just can't win with her. She's insufferable. Not like the worst beard we've ever seen, but definitely a beard that I love to hate. Eventually, I approached Amanda. She said something about me being her old friend from high school to the crew with her. Even though this was true, she said it laced with this sarcastic tone. The rest of her group was a mess. There were two guys. One had a mop of short hair atop a greasy face. He sat staring through round frame glasses that magnified his eyes, his mouth constantly open. That boy looks like a fish. A fish with a little afro on it.
He was the #1 tongue scrubber.
He was slouched down, looking like a human beanbag. No spine, no spine. This one Amanda introduced as her boyfriend, ugh, and then grilled me as to if I had a boyfriend, and if so, where was he? And I just said that, yeah, I had started seeing someone, but he wasn't here. Amanda made a huh noise, and then smirked at her compatriots. Dude, I don't think this is as big of a victory as you're thinking it is right now. Look at this human being agreed to be my boyfriend. Yeah, he's a human being, all right. Great job. You found one that would accept you. The rest of her crew went entirely unintroduced. The other guy was in a classic ponytail and trench coat in warm weather combination. The girls, I don't know, fairly interchangeable, all with ill-fitting clothing and greasy hair. One wore eyeliner that was basically like a solid 1/4 inch of black around each eye. Let's call them Stenchlet 1, 2, and 3, I guess. It was obvious that Amanda was the queen bee of this crew. Every time she said something, the girls would fawn and Trenchcoat would stare longingly at her. Dude, this whole dynamic is just blowing my mind right now. At least Amanda did find her place in the sun, after all. I mean, you're the centerpiece of basically a group of village idiots. You're the village idiot of the village of idiots. But I don't know. It's what she wanted all along. And I wish I could be legitimately happy for her, but she's probably just gonna be terrible about it anyways. This whole friend group, this whole social dynamic is just depressing the hell out of me. So Chad, Amanda's brother, is by this point frantically waving down OP's brother. He was concerned about this development and wanted to buffer his sister from the party. Dude, that's big brain time. They were already a bit isolated in the corner, but he asked us to take over the only table between them and the rest of the group, putting party setup stuff across it so nobody would sit near them. It seems overboard, but I mean, he has lived with her. He knows it's only a matter of time until this whole thing self-destructs. And so, I was gonna find myself within eavesdropping distance of the table for much of the anniversary party. It was obvious from the get-go that this visit from Amanda and her collection was from a really mean-spirited place. I don't know if it was a ploy to prove how much better than her family she was, or if it was to embarrass her parents, but confirmed, Amanda was there to make a show. I don't think she knows how to do anything else, honestly. She is just constantly making a spectacle of herself. It was as if whatever redeemable traits she had been boiled away, and the crew she was with was bringing out the very worst parts of her. They sat around making snide and nasty comments about everyone there, all except for Amanda's boyfriend, who puddled in his chair looking almost confused. Oh, poor guy, he's senile or something. That's why he agreed. He doesn't even know where he is right now. First, we called that the food was ready, and Amanda's table went from slouched in chairs to booking it across the room. Betty made a pretty bold move, however, blocking Amanda and asking what she had brought for the potluck. Of course, none of Amanda's crew had brought anything at all, so Betty got angry and started saying that they should block Amanda from eating, but Chad stopped this. It wasn't worth the fight, and it would upset their grandmother. I added that my brother and I were going to try and buffer their table and just hope that they didn't ruin the event. Besides, how much food could they actually eat? Bro. You see the size of that girl? Oh no, man, I'm thinking she could pack it away. The answer was they could eat a lot. Thankfully, we had staged out portions of food, only putting out half of many dishes because they plowed through some of these dishes like steamrollers, taking all of the available portions. Jesus Christ. It's like locusts showed up to the party.
I told you, when I'm finished, you can have what's left.
There won't be any left.
I'll type up all the rest of this later, where Amanda's mean girl antics get even worse, and then they backfire horribly. Yes, some karmic justice, please and thank you. And part of me wants to cut the video right here, leave it on a cliffhanger, but I ain't gonna do that to you. You beautiful people, I just can't. And if you'd like to thank me for being so generous in sharing the second part, maybe you could like, comment, subscribe on the video if you haven't already. You're probably enjoying it, you watched this far. Only one part to go. So let's jump into it. Amanda and the Anniversary, Part 2. Continuing the tale of Amanda, my childhood friend, and her parents' anniversary. After everyone had their food, we had a little slideshow thing that we projected. Bro, I think everybody hates those. Now the mean-spirited nature of Amanda's table reached full tilt. In between snarfing down food, they'd bark out nasty comments about the pictures. Oh my god, who cares? Baby pictures and pictures at their grandparents' house were met with comments about how poor they looked. I'm gonna tell you a little secret, Amanda. Time has not changed that. You look more broken, busted than ever before. At first, I was shushing them, but I realized it didn't seem to matter that other people were hearing them, and I was just giving them attention. I guess the best thing you can do is try and freeze them out, but it is a hard thing to ignore. Then when they got to her parents' wedding pictures, admittedly 80s fashion, especially wedding fashion, didn't age that well, but one of the girls at the table, who hadn't met any of these people before, literally shouted out, "Oh my god, she's so ugly!" The room went silent. Everyone turned to look, and Amanda just looked smug. Everyone uncomfortably went back to their food. Dude, this is depressing. Somebody say something, but I guess they just know it's not gonna have any effect. At least not for Amanda, but we don't know about this anonymous Legbeard that's in the group, right? Maybe we could shut her down. Let's at least try. And then there was a break in the party, with people just chatting while we reset the buffet, and the mean girls' comments continued from the table in an unrelenting spew. At first, people were trying to talk to Amanda, but she would answer with a sarcastic tone and an eye roll, appreciative snickers from her posse. Even her parents got this treatment and decided to leave her alone. I hope this is like her last appearance. Her parents are like, oh, I thought I missed her. It's a good thing she showed up and reminded me who she actually is. You can stay gone now, Amanda. We are closing the book. Finally, OP's brother and Chad were actively acting to deflect anyone foolish enough to try and talk to Amanda, redirecting them elsewhere, distracting them, anything to keep innocent family members from that corner of the pavilion. This was probably good, as you could smell the group from the next table where I sat. Just put a fan on and be like, you guys look really hot. Let's blow the smell off in this direction. I sat back down and I realized how much the table of wasted carbon complained and mocked. This whole party was cheesy. Betty was so much uglier than Amanda. Amanda's relatives were redneck idiots. The food sucked. The music sucked. The party sucked. This town, it totally sucks. I heard them mock her grandmother, who walked with a bent back, calling her Quasimodo. Dude, bro, insult the music, the food, the town. You do not come at Grandma. Grandma begat everything that made this possible, and you will show some goddamn respect. Go kick him in the neck right now, OP. No jury in the land would convict you. Ugh. Her uncle's wife was so fat. Oh my god, that person's outfit was ugly. These tablecloths must have come from the dollar store. They couldn't believe that Amanda came from this horrible town. Jesus Christ, dude, it is so much to unpack, and I'm glad that they were segregated, honestly. They should have been completely kicked out. Can you imagine having this much insecurity and self-hatred that you just project all over everyone that hoves into your field of vision? You're just the worst, and you're gonna die alone. It's only a matter of time until this entire friend group implodes because they're so goddamn hateful. Amanda's posse was all seemingly trying to one-up each other on the comments, the whole time looking toward Amanda for her approval. Amanda was seemingly in her glory, basking in this attention. Where did she find these people? What the hell is this? I started helping to bust the tables before the rest of the party started, and I heard raised voices. I turned to see Betty at their table, looking ready to kill Amanda. I came over to see that a good portion of the food that her group had taken had gone uneaten. Betty was upset that so much food was going to waste, and Amanda was calling her cheap. Then Betty pointed out specifically that there were 5 or 6 cupcakes sitting there, the icing licked off, but the cake part completely untouched. Amanda rolled her eyes and said, "They were uneaten. We should just put them back on the buffet for someone else." I quietly threw the cakes out. Bro, place that cupcake firmly in your palm and just smack Amanda in the side of the head with it. She doesn't understand anything except for corporal punishment, okay? After we cleaned up from the meal, one of the longtime friends of the family had a treat. He was a local DJ, and he had prepared what he called a recap of her parents' life, which was actually a roast of the couple. It was cute and funny, full of little stories and jokes, set to snippets of music. A few of the people in the audience got into it and added comments, but it was all sort of fun joking with the couple rather than at the actual couple's expense. And guess who doesn't know the difference at all? Amanda! At first, the back table just rolled their eyes, all exasperated that they had to sit through such a boring thing. Then they started mocking back to the DJ, more mean stuff, making fun of the family. For instance, there was a joke about Amanda's dad being from a good Catholic family, which is why he had so many brothers and sisters. From the back table, I hear someone say about how his mom obviously couldn't keep her legs shut. Then they questioned whether they all had the same father. Jesus Christ, dude. How is everybody in the family just sitting here enduring this? How has no drunk uncle gone over and just like mollywalloped these kids? I would be that drunk uncle. I don't care. Thankfully, most of this was being partially drowned out as the DJ had the sound system obnoxiously loud, so most of the party didn't seem aware. I mean, thank God for that, at least. But Amanda really is just reaching new lows, you know? You're dunking on your own grandmother, on your own father. You're never gonna live this down, nor do you deserve to. Then the story got to the wedding. He pointed out that they got married only to have their first child 3 months later. I forget what the joke was associated with this, but it obviously took Amanda by surprise. From behind me, I hear, "What?" I turned, unable to resist, and told Amanda that her parents definitely had a shotgun wedding. What? I clarify that her mom was pregnant with her when her parents got married. What? This last one was loud enough that people turned to see what was up. Amanda went from looking horrified to upset, and then tears welled up in her eyes. I can't believe you were so self-absorbed that you never did the math on this, Amanda. When's your guys' anniversary? Oh, my birthday? Okay. I won't feel too bad about it, honestly. The parents have been married 25 years. There's something there. But of course, Amanda just sees this as an opportunity to make it all about her. Meanwhile, the party is all laughing along with the next joke, but Amanda is starting in these heaving, sort of fake sobs. They were making fun of her. She can't believe that, and that's why she now hates her family. Amanda gets up and flees the table, ducking out the side door. Stenchlet 1 and 2 follow, as does Trenchcoat. Stenchlet 3 stays behind and starts chastising the boyfriend for not following Amanda out. Boyfriend looks completely baffled and overwhelmed. I don't think he even knew where he was. That's what I said. Here, come here, baby boy. Just maintain a terrified grip on my wrist while I feed you some tapioca pudding. Where am I? This isn't my house. I know, just calm down. Enjoy your pudding. Anyways, eventually Stenchlet 3 stops and starts to look uncomfortable with the situation and slumps down in her chair. The roast finishes, the DJ puts on music, people are chatting and mingling when Amanda slams the door open. Yeah, she couldn't just leave. She couldn't just flee into the night. She's gotta make it a show every time. She storms back inside, shooting everyone death glares, and slams her butt back into the seat, arms crossed over her chest. Stenchlet 3 begins to say that she tried to get boyfriend to follow, but Amanda holds up her hand. Honest to God, she held up her hand like a freaking pharaoh to silence this girl, who is immediately cowed. Like a pharaoh. I love that. My brother and I had been watching across the room, exchanging commentary. It was like watching a car wreck, only slightly less sad and more hysterical. The drama-filled event of Amanda finding out that she was almost born out of wedlock had effectively killed the Mean Girls conversation. Yeah, dude, job done. Instead, 12 baleful eyes just stared out at the crowd enjoying themselves. Oh yeah, how dare they? Why don't y'all just go home? I'm gonna suggest that like 5 more times until you actually do it. People started to trickle out, aunts and uncles coming to say goodbye to Amanda, who just rolled her eyes or made some rude comment in return. Finally, it was just her parents, her siblings, my family, and 1 or 2 other people all cleaning up. Amanda's crew still sat in the corner, still not talking. Eventually, I go and ask them to move, as we had to fold up their table and chairs. They got up, moans and groans and complaints. Instead of this being a cue to, leave, they started to mill around the room, opening up closed boxes to try and get leftovers and just generally getting in the way. It never gets any easier to watch this type of stuff, I want somebody to go up and say, it's time to go home now, but you can't really do that at a party. Amanda had wandered over to the card and present table. A lifetime of experience meant that I wasn't about to let her steal her parents' gifts, and I went and watched her very closely. We exchanged glares over the table until Chad noticed and started to take all of the presents out to his car. Her crew didn't leave until we were finally at the, okay, we are turning the lights off now stage of the night. I found out later that they went back to her parents' house. Amanda threw a fit when she found out that her parents were using her room for storage. Remember, she didn't even speak on the phone with them for 4 years, but apparently expected her high school room to be a shrine, left untouched. Jesus, the disconnect is so strong. Why would you possibly believe that? She then expected her parents to put up all 5 of her friends for 2 nights with no advance notice or anything. Her mom was scrambling to pull out air mattresses and figure out how to feed that many freaking people. Yeah, it's called a Motel 6, Amanda. You're not welcome, I'm sorry. You are my daughter, but I heard you call Grandma Quasimodo. Now get the hell out of my house, But the mom, too nice. I guess that is why Amanda ended up like this. Anyways, thankfully, when Chad got back home, she ended up getting in a fight with him and flounced out to the car, her flock in tow, and drove off into the night. Oh, good. Brother is gonna be the gatekeeper here. That's also the role that I used to play in my family. Hey, Chad, I respect that. Well, thank God that finally came to an end. I don't know where the hell she found these people or why they thought that any of this was okay. I'm just in shock. I am flabbergasted. How will the Amanda saga end? I guess we'll find out in the last video. There's 2 more parts to go. I might have to mix it in with a one-off Legbeard story or a song or something like that. But it should be a good time. I do want to save it though. I hope that you enjoyed this video, however, friends. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Many links in the description if you're partial to those social medias. You know, I got a Twitter and a Discord, a TikTok, and plenty of other stuff too. There's also my Patreon patrons, my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous YouTube channel members. Gosh, I love these people so much. They help me to get through every single month. And I don't have the words to properly express the love in my heart for all of you. So I'll just say, hey, thanks. If you can afford to join them, that's huge. If you can't, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me. I hope you'll come on back, hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands. But most importantly, as always, remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely, definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, friends. And until then, bye-bye.